Welcome to Real Judaism with Rabbi Klapper. Unfiltered wisdom for Jewish life.
Okay, welcome back. We are here on Daf Kuf Samech Tes. In the third paragraph, the Kedusha nohagim lidaleg mimata lemala. Le'echad eretz v'shamay la'achid eretz v'shamay Kedusha Hashem Yisborach. So we were talking about, just to get us caught up from last week, we're talking about how Kedusha Musaf represents the korban that's miyuchad, special for Shabbos, which is not a korban chatas, which is different. This week's parsha, we're reading Parshas Pinchas, and we're learning about all the different korban musafs of all the yomim tovim of the year. All the haftarahs of the yomim tovim come from this week's parsha. So, and the laning of here, at least here in Eretz Yisrael, the laning of Chol Hamoed, of every day of Chol Hamoed Sukkos, and Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkot, everything, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, is in this week's parsha, of all the korban musafs. And all the korban musafs have something in common. They all have a korban chatas. And the korban musaf of Shabbos doesn't have a korban chatas. It's not about getting kapara. It's not about asking for Hashem or something. It's just bring closeness to Hashem. And then we discuss what the essence of a korban is. Breaking something down to its most base part. When we're broken down, that's how we can get to really our essence, where we are. And what's our source of life? It's Rabboni Shalom. And that's what's special on Shabbos. We're not looking, like in the past we discussed, that we're not looking to ask for something on Shabbos. We're just looking for that closeness on Shabbos. So that's here where we are, again, on Daf Kuf Samech Tes. Kedusha noyagim ledalig mimata lemala. When we're looking to get that Kedusha, of getting closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of bringing the world, the physical world, and being the Kadosh, the physical world, bring it up. So we're saying that Kedusha can jump steps. Not we can do it. Hashem can do it. And it can bring things that are very low to places that are very high. La'ached eretz v'shamayim b'kedushas Hashem Yisborach, by uniting the land and the heavens through the Kedusha of Hashem. Oh, is that the reference? Maybe you're right. You're right. From the previous paragraph, my apologies. In the previous paragraphs, we were talking about Keter, right? We were talking about the special Kedusha of Musaf on Shabbos. And you're right, that's the reference to over here, the Kedusha, not just on the Kedusha Shabbos, the Kedusha of Musaf. And that Kedusha brings a person to a higher level, right? There's something special in that Kedusha, right? That we unite the land and the Shemayim with the Kedusha of Hashem. Mishalshim bazeh. We have lashon of three, right? We say Kadosh, 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 right? The lashon of three is a chazaka. When we put things together, the famous line is chut mishulash lo yinatek. A three-pronged rope, a three-plied rope. When you twist them and you try to break it, you can't break it. That's what it represents, the avos. Three represents something that's strong. Sheklal gadol hu shloisha hem chazaka hamoira ala nitzchias. Something that's three represents this chazaka. Chazaka means you own something, right? If, for a classic example, the Gemara in Baba Basra, it talks cheskas habatim. If you have a chazaka that you own, you've been living on a piece of property for 3 years. You don't even if you don't have the document of sale anymore, but I have witnesses. I've been living here for 3 years. It's yours, right? That's a chazaka. It means I have control over it. I have control. But even more, the actual word means strength. So three represent this strength that comes through this connection to Hashem, which shows eternity. Shekach yimshach hadavar la'olam, that this is going to last forever. When the Torah is in your mouth, and in your child's mouth, and in your grandchild's mouth, so then it won't leave ever. Then it won't leave ever. Once you have it 3 generations, then it'll stay. Mishalshim b'kadosh, which we just said it now. You say kadosh 3 times. Shepirusho mufrash ve'elyon. What does it mean? That Hashem is way above. Lakavana shu yizbarach kadosh v'oid kadosh v'oid kadosh ad ein sof v'tachlis. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kadosh, again, we define Kadosh as separate and elevated. The Lashon of Kadosh, just to review what Kadosh is. What is something that is holy? Holy, like we said, when a person gets married. So a chassan under the chuppah takes out, we're on the Kuf Samach Tes in the middle of this paragraph. We're talking about the Lashon of Kadosh. What is holy? Holy means something that is separated for a specific purpose. So, for example, when you say under the chuppah, a chassan says to this kala under the chuppah, harei at mikudeshes li, does not mean you are going to now be my korban. It does not mean that, right? I don't know what people are thinking, but certainly it doesn't mean that. It means you are now separated from the rest of the world, and now you are only for me. So that's what the idea of Kedusha is, to separate something for a specific purpose. So when we're saying that a Kadosh Baruch Hu is Kadosh, that he's separated from us, he's way above us. And then we say Kadosh again, it's even further than we think. And then we say Kadosh again. The third time means that it's eternal. We have no idea how so much Hashem is separated from us. Hashem is so great. It has no distance, has no number. There's nothing. It's eternal, the greatness of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, and obviously very, very limited, and therefore you can't even compare something that is completely eternal and separated and higher and above all rules to something that is finite. So that's what it means. We're saying Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Hashem is even more separated and greater and higher than us. V'hamalachim haroyim et Kedusha noya miyuchedes shel Shabbos. When the malachim see this special level of Kedusha, which is special for Shabbos, because like we said, Shabbos is the gateway of Hashem. I mean, Shabbos has to be there to bring Hashem in. That means Shabbos itself has to be on a tremendously high level. The malachim say to each other, where is his place? Dahainu, what does that mean? Gam bekol yom anu yoidim shemalei kol haaretz kavado. Even every day we see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu fills the whole world with his kavod. Aval hayichud hanoira hazeh shel Shabbos heichan shamanu veheichan re'inu ki yoytze bo shu noir v'ayom. Meaning the malachim know every day that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is here. They experienced whatever level they experience the Ribono Shel Olam in a more real way, tangibly than we do. But on Shabbos, and even that they can't understand. That's what it means. That's what it means. He explains, where is it? Not that they don't know it's here, because it's everywhere, but they're asking, how could it be that we can experience such greatness during the week, and on Shabbos is just way beyond anything. It's way beyond. And even the malachim say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is way beyond everything. And especially on Shabbos, where he makes his presence felt. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not in the world. We are in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The world is in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is everywhere and everything. So we are here. Ayeh mekoim kavodoi, meaning if Hashem is everywhere and we can feel him tangibly, again, the malachim are saying that, then we're saying, how could it possibly be even more than that? And that's what Shabbos is. Even more than that. Miyad mivakshim, right? This is basically he's giving a parish of the Kedusha of Musaf. On Shabbos, miyad mivakshim mimakoimo hu yifem berachamim. From his place, he expresses out his rachamim. V'yochan am hamiyachadim shemo, and he gives chen to the nation who make his name one, make them special. Sha'kesher ben shamayim va'aretz hu b'shnei kivunim. The connection between here, us and the world, and to Shamayim, to the Olam HaRuchni, from the Olam HaGashmi to the Olam HaRuchni, the physical world to the spiritual world, is two directions. Bereshis in the beginning, tzarich milamata lamala, nekasher haaretz shel Shamayim. In the beginning, we need to be sending Shepa up to Shamayim. We need to be connecting. We need to be working on ourselves and connecting our physical selves more to to the Shemayim. Kedusha also Yosef HaTzadik. Shechinah ha'aretz im Kedusha of Hashem Yisbarach. Vehechzir ha'aretz leBaalea. Just like Yosef, who took the most base things, the most physical things, and he brought Kedusha to the worst, lowest places. And he brought Kedusha to it. And he elevated the Erebas Haaretz. And he brought this world back to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, making Mekadesh Em Shamayim. Yes, it was Beseser. It was hidden. Nobody knew. Nobody knew what his greatness. Did Yosef know when he did his act that it was going to be written down in the Holy Torah for all eternity, for everyone to see? Did Yosef know that? No, he didn't know. It says by Reuven. It says Reuven, when the brothers wanted to kill Yosef, that Reuven said, no, we're not going to kill him. Just put him in a pit. And the Torah testifies that Reuven's real intentions were to go back and save him and to take him out of the pit, which is why when he came back, he couldn't believe it. What happened? Where did he go? His full intention was to save Yosef. Rashi comments there that if Reuven would have known that in the Torah it would say that Reuven stood up and he saved Yosef, if Reuven would have known that would have been written, he would have fought all of his brothers and done it. He wouldn't have waited and tried to do it in a backhanded kind of way, like when they're not looking and I'll save him. He would have faced them off, and we don't realize things that are being written down. No, it's done Beseser. It's not all the same books that are being written in Shemayim now about us. When are those books going to be read? They're going to be read by thousands, millions, billions of people. Malachi Asharetz, Kadosh Baruch Hu himself, right? If we would know. So, but that's what Yosef did. He brought this world, and he brought Kedusha into this world. He brought it up to Shemayim. V'chein al yedei shmir Shabbos. Same thing by keeping Shabbos. Mikachim ha'aretz b'kedusha Hashem Yisbarach. That's what we're doing. By keeping Shabbos, we're not doing malacha. We're taking the Gashmias in this world and we're using it to serve Hashem until Hashem's day. That means we're going to eat. It means we're going to sleep. We're going to enjoy Shabbos, the physical parts of Shabbos too. Obviously, the ruchnius parts of Shabbos, the Talmud Torah on Shabbos, connecting to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, the beautiful tefillas on Shabbos. But even the Gashmias, we're using it. We're connecting it back to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Yedei kach kevan shashamayim va'aretz kashurim heim. Since at this point now, we connected the Aretz up to Shamayim, and Mela Gam Shamayim Mitkashim al Aretz. Now the heavens can come, and the Ruchnis can come down here into earth. Shefa Bracha Ad Blidai Min Shamayim al Aretz. Now we sent that Shefa up to Shamayim. We connected to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. We're saying this world is Ruchni. So Kadosh Baruch Hu sends back down tremendous Shefa in all areas. In all areas, Hashem blesses us. Because that's what we're doing. Then you read in the Ramchaim Derech Hashem, he discusses this concept that the way things run in this world go based on our input. We put the input into this world, and that has an effect in Shemayim, and then Shemayim sends back down based on the input that we send up. So Kiviyachol, and we can discuss this also, maybe a little bit later in the Sefer, Kiviyachol, Hashem needs us. Hashem set up the world in a way that He put it in our hands, depending on what we do. That's the shefa that's going to come down. Now, obviously, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a plan for the whole world, and that plan will come to fruition regardless of whether or not we do what we're supposed to do or not. Hashem's plan will come to fruition. The question is, are we going to be part of it? The question is, are we going to be the one who's going to bring it? Or chas v'sholem, it's not going to be that way. But the way things run, even on a daily basis in this world, it's run based on our actions. That's what it is. I don't know if I told the story with the Chavetz Chaim here, but the story I heard about the Chavetz Chaim, that one time when the Chavetz Chaim heard the Mississippi River overflowed its banks and caused massive damage and loss of life even, I think. And when the Chavetz Chaim heard about that, so he told the yeshiva, we're going to say Tehillim, we're going to daven. Somebody had the gall to say to the Chavetz Chaim, who lived in Radin in Poland, nowhere near the Mississippi River, He said, "Who cares about the Mississippi River? Why do you care about the Mississippi River?" So he said, the Chofetz Chaim said, "You don't understand. Why do you think things happen in this world? They happen in this world for us, for Klal Yisrael. We're the ones who are making things happen, and everything that happens in the world is for us. If the Mississippi River overflowed its banks, it's for us. We need to do better. We need to improve ourselves. We need to daven more. We need to connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu more." That's what it is. Everything that happens in the world is a message. It's a Mefurish Gemara.
I'm going to say that.
Right. Don't tell them. Right. They just think it's a Gashmius way. Right? Right?
They just look at it as a negative.
Right. But really, it's a Ruchniistic way. That's why Chazal tell us, if the Goyim would have known how much the Korbanos, these Korbanos that we have in this week's Parsha, Pinchas, specifically the Korbanos of Sukkos, which were specifically meant for the protection of the Goyim, the protection of the nations of the world, if they would have known that these Korbanos are for them, it's for their good. If they would have known that Shlomo Melech Daven in the Beis HaMikdash, at the inauguration of the Beis HaMikdash, any goy that comes here and prays to you, give him whatever he wants. If they would have known that, they would put armed guards up around the Beis HaMikdash so that it should never get destroyed. Never. It would never be destroyed if they would have known. They would know the truth. They would force every single Jew to sit down and learn Torah. What are you doing? What are you doing? You need to protect us all. Bez Hashem will be that way. That we'll be able to be focusing only on our connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and everybody else will serve us. Because they'll know the truth. And they'll know this is what's best for them. But they don't know. It's unfortunate they don't know. Bez Hashem, we should be zeichet in our days. Then the whole world together can come and serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's what we say in the tefillas on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Ve'asu kulam aguda achas, right? We say we should all be one group to serve Hashem. All of us together, we should be one to serve Hashem. That's Lamaisa. That's the way it's meant to be. But there's a lot of Hester in this world, a lot of things that are hidden, and there's a lot of challenges. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Dafka made it this way, so it'd be challenging for us, so that we would overcome, and we would do it anyway. Even through the difficulties, we would do it. And it's going to even get even more scar that way, and going to have more an effect in the world on that way. But yeah, because there are challenges, there are a lot of fallout from these challenges too. It's unfortunate. As Hashem, we should be saved from it. But the Ma'aseh coming back, this is exactly the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. Where were we?
Weekday.
Ad beli daim in Shema Yisrael Valkain. Miuchodim li Yosef kol habrachos shel shefa v'toiva. That's why it's special, specifically for Yosef. Yosef got the brachos of shefa v'toiva. Birchas shamayim mima'al. Birchos tohim robetzes tachas. This is a reference to the brachos that Yaakov Avinu gave to Yosef. You look in Parshas Vayechi, that Yosef got above and beyond tremendous brachos. Ad tavas givois olam. The desire of the hills of the world came Birchu Moshe Rabbeinu, and same thing with the bracha Moshe Rabbeinu. Mi meged shamayim mital mitohim robetzes tachas. That Yosef, talking about the chelik of Yosef, is going to be getting the shepherd from Shamayim and from the tohim, from underneath, from underground. Mi meged tzivua shamesh, mi meged gerish yirachim, mi rosh harei kedem, mi meged givois olam, mi meged eretz imloah, v'retzoyna shechni seneh. That's the bracha. In Parshas Bazos, the bracha, tremendous shefa in all areas for Yosef, everywhere. Why? Because Yosef was the one who connected us to Shamayim. Brachos Shabbos kach hein. And the same thing, the brachos on Shabbos. Im tashib mishabbos, if you hold back your legs from doing what your needs are, your desires are. B'yom kodshi, on my holy day, you hold back. Az titaneg al Hashem, then you'll have tremendous oineg. You'll have tremendous oineg from Hashem. Tremendous pleasure. V'yakapticha b'mosei aretz v'achalticha nachlas Yaakov avicha. Dainu nachala b'li Mitzrayim ki pi Hashem diber. And there's a pasuk in Yeshayahu that if you keep the Shabbos, then you're going to have oinik from Hashem. We don't understand even what that means. We don't understand what it could possibly mean, that oinik from Hashem. Maybe person is oisik in his Torah, the geschmack of understanding something in Torah, the geschmack in a ne'ilah, that a person can feel maybe a little bit the closeness of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. That, but like exponentially higher than that. And it comes where you respect my holy day. Do what I'm telling you to do. Don't work on Shabbos. Have oineg on Shabbos, and you'll see you're really going to be tasting olam haba. The reason we say me'ayin olam haba, we don't even consider. If we would stop and think about it, it's a different world. Just yesterday, somebody asked me, do you really recharge on Shabbos? Now, I gave them a bad answer at the time, meaning we were talking about like starting the week and how Sunday's a hard day. Sunday's a hard day to start. It's true. Sunday is a hard day to start. Technically speaking, if a person sleeps too much on Shabbos afternoon and they can't fall asleep on Motzei Shabbos, you can't fall asleep on Motzei Shabbos, you get less sleep. And when you wake up Sunday morning, you're tired, right? In America, what's the big deal? You can sleep all day on Sunday also. But here in Eretz Yisrael, it's not like that. Sunday's a regular day. You got to get up. You got to get to work on Sunday, right? So is that you really recharge on Shabbos? You really feel like that was the topic of the discussion, and I gave them the wrong answer. I said, yeah, I sleep just the right amount on Shabbos afternoon, and that's why. But it's not true. Really think about it for a second. It's not really true. If it would be that nap, I'd wake up. I'm still tired. I'm not really. That's not where the recharge comes from. That's not the recharge comes. Recharge comes from the tefillas. The fact that we're not in a rush and we can actually daven normal tefillas. It's really chaval for people who don't. It's really chaval. Run through davening. Enjoy the tefillah. Where are you going? Where are you running to? Enjoy the tefillah. People are so schleppy and I can't take it. Unfortunately, no person doesn't know how to appreciate a tefillah. You're talking to somebody who has all the power to do everything. Just like let's make a conversation. If you have an opportunity to speak to a billionaire, just to be friendly, maybe he'll remember me after our conversation, especially if we meet every week, right? Maybe he'll remember me, right? Just enjoy the conversation. And you know what? Sitting and learning on Shabbos is a pleasure. It's different. It is. It really is different than learning the rest of the week. I know for me, I can't learn. I have a hard time learning Be'iyun on Shabbos because I like to write. When I have ideas, I need to write them down. So if I have ideas, I have a hard time. So usually I do Bekiyas on Shabbos. I find that I'm actually able to cover a lot more on Shabbos than I am during the week. A lot more. What I can do in a whole week, in 5 or 6 days of the week, I can finish like in one Shabbos. Now it's review. I did it already. You can make excuses, but like I feel I can just do more. I can. I cover a lot more ground, especially on these long Shabbosim. On the Shabbos Shabbosim, I feel like I can do a lot more. I think that's really where the chiyas is. That's why you feel recharged. I think that's really what the answer is. Connect to a Kadosh Baruch Hu and we're going to get recharged. That's what we discussed. That's what menucha is. That's what recharging our batteries from the true life source. And now it's finishing up the Kedusha, the last few paragraphs over here on Daf Kuf Ayin. V'az behemshech HaKedusha, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. We makabel on ourselves all Malchut Shemayim. Sheze mamish inyan HaShabbos liyached as Hashem Yizbarach b'kol makom. That is the absolute idea of Shabbos. Is what we said. One of the avoiders of Shabbos. If somebody wants something, what can I do to experience Shabbos more? Work on your Amunah. On Shabbos, work on your Amunah. Perfect place to do it. Ready? Right here in the middle of Kedusha. You're saying it already. Shema Yisrael. You're accepting upon yourself Ol Malchus Shemayim. You're accepting upon yourself the complete oneness, the yichud of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world, which is the essence of all creation, the yesh me'ayin. The kosva kadmoinim shetzorech lichivun b'kriyas Shema zu limsorat hanefesh. The kadmoinim, meaning another way of saying the Bali Kabbalah, that when you're saying this, you should think about that I'm going to be willing to be Moshe Nefesh for Hashem. Sharei nekuda amuka b'chaviva al adam hi etzem nafsho. right? What is the most deep part of you, who you really are, the most beloved part of a person? That's his soul. And it's worth to him more than anything in the world. Hashem, the pasuk in Eob says, a person willing to give anything for his soul. When a person gives away his soul, then it can be elevated and return to its source. Then it can pass through the entire world and go back to its source. So that's what we're doing. Person should think, I'm willing to totally give my life up for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. By saying that, by thinking that, I'm really connecting my soul to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The very end of Kedusha, then Yimloch Hashem Lo'olam, then Hashem the Melech over the whole world. Lokayach Tzion L'dor V'dor. Everybody will see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Lord, the God of Tzion, of Yerushalayim, and really of the whole world. But his place is in Yerushalayim forever and ever. Behind the Chtiv Kikol Bashamayim U'Ba'aretz, because that's what means that everything is here in this world. Everything is in this world. Shamayim U'Ba'aretz is Locha Hashem HaMalacha, is for you. Shezeh Soif HaTachlis HaKol. It's very interesting because he doesn't say it over here, but if you contrast the Musaf, the Kedusha of Shachris and the Kedusha of Musaf, what you see is an amazing thing, right? In the Shachris in the Kedusha of Shachris, so we have a nice long paragraph. The paragraph goes. Yeah, let me just turn to it. The paragraph goes, from your place, come out. Kadosh Baruch Hu, why won't you be mamlech over us? When are you coming? B'karav yameinu, we hope it's going to be soon. And then it'll be forever. And then your name will be great in Yerushalayim. And it will last forever. And we're waiting to see you. Our eyes are waiting to see you. And we believe that it's true. So it sounds like it's, when is it going to be? We're waiting for you. It's gonna be. We're waiting. That's what it sounds like in Shachris. And in Musaf, as he just described, Musaf, which is really more related to Shabbos itself, the Musaf of Shabbos is, no, Hashem is here already. Hashem's here. Hashem is mikoimo. The malachim don't know on Shabbos. Where is he? Because the Shechinah is so great, and so he's here already. And we're saying Shema Yisrael, and we're saying Hu Elokeinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Mosheinu. He's here. And this is very similar. We said that Shabbos is like the Beis HaMikdash. Shabbos is like the Beis HaMikdash. We're waiting for the Beis HaMikdash. We're waiting for the Shechinah to be Shruya. But on Shabbos, the Shechinah is already Shruya. So on the one hand, in the beginning on Shachris, we're saying, Hashem, when are you going to come back? When are you going to come back to Tzion? When are you going to come back to Yerushalayim? When are you come back and the whole world is going to see you? We're waiting for you. Masai Timloch B'Tzion. And then by Musaf, it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu is here already. Shabbos is here. On Shabbos, we're connecting to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're connecting up and bringing Shemayim down, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is really here already. So we don't have to ask Mosai, because he's here already. Obviously, we want him here not only on Shabbos, we want him here all the time. Right? We're still waiting for the Beis HaMikdash. We're still waiting for Mashiach. But we have Shabbos. Okay. There's Hashem next week. We'll start the last parak of this chelek. Exciting. Go up.
Thank you for joining Real Judaism, where we explore Torah's wisdom for real life. Created by J Foundations and produced by Eli Podcast Productions. Find more episodes at realjudaism.org and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.